Hey everybody, this is Jake. I just wanted to let you know that you're still on my mind. I'm still thinking about you, missing you, and I love you, and I'm praying for you. So anyway, today's Wednesday, and I wanted to share another devotional thought. So here we go. When you hear the word adventure, what do you think? I like to think of it's either a person or a group of people who are going on some sort of journey, and things are happening to or for or through them, to where some lesson is learned or whatever, and then or something happens, something is gained. I think of great movies like Indiana Jones or Lord of the Rings or Nacho Libre, great films. And you might think of something like Harry Potter or Wall-E or Finding Dory or Nemo, those things. But those are great adventures where they go on a journey and something incredible happens. So I also like to think about 12 ordinary guys who got to go with this extraordinary guy named Jesus for 3.5 years, and what an incredible journey and adventure that must have been like. To physically walk, talk, eat, and all those kind of things with Jesus in a way that we won't in this world. But we do get to experience a great life with him, and that's what I wanted to talk about today, the adventure with Jesus. So I know you're watching the video, but go ahead and for a second try to do this little exercise with me. Close your eyes and go back in time with me to first century Galilee. Let's experience this together. So as you got your eyes closed, take a deep breath in through your nose and just smell the smells. What did it smell like back then? A little different than around here, right? What does it feel like outside? How hot is it? What do you think that feels like? Touch your clothes. Touch your clothes. Remember, this is before they had cotton. This, at least there. Fabric softener, detergent. Touch your hair. This is the days before conditioner and shampoo. Smell your armpits. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Anyway. But still, seriously, I wanted to paint a picture with you real quick of what it must have been like to experience some of those things back then. Go ahead and keep your eyes closed and think about this. Imagine you've been out on the lake all day on a boat with your friends, having a great day. You come back to shore, you're building a bonfire, you're laying out on the beach, getting ready to clean some fish and eat. And some random stranger just walks up to you and says, "Hey, leave everything behind and come follow me." Stranger danger, right? Not quite. See, they probably would have known that Jesus was a rabbi, which is a great teacher, and someone who would take somebody under his wing and teach them great things. And so this is an educational opportunity for these guys. It's a life-changing event, maybe possibly for them. And so, but still, it would have been just a big thing to just leave everything behind and come follow him. So, but they did. And in that time, what did they experience? What did they see? Think about everything they saw, from Jesus calming the storm, to healing the blind, the deaf, the lame, the sick, walking on water, casting out demons, feeding thousands upon thousands of people with just a sack lunch. I mean, it's amazing to think what they would have saw. Raising people from the dead, and then even being killed and rising from the dead, and then eventually flying off into heaven somehow. All this was happening while they were homeless as well. So what an adventure this must have been like. And of course they stayed with people from time to time, but they were wandering from place to place, and Jesus was sharing these great things with people and them. So what an adventure. I mean, wow, what an experience that must have been like. But that was for them. What about us? What about us? What about his modern day disciples? What do we experience? What kind of adventures are we going on with Jesus today? Well, let me give you another illustration. I want you to think about this. 10 years ago, the popular ride for celebrities was a Range Rover. Everyone called it a G-Wagon. I don't know what today's modern vehicle would be that everyone would like, wow, what would that be like to own? But if you just think about that for a second, imagine Jesus literally calling you on the phone and say, "Hey, I want you to come with me and check out my new ride." You're like, "Sure, all right." So you get there, you jump in, and he's flying down the roads. You're like, "Wow, Jesus, this has got so much power. This is amazing." You're having a great time. Eventually, you're like, "Hey, man, can I drive?" And so Jesus said, "Yeah, sure, come on." And y'all get out, switch places, and you start driving, and you're not afraid because you're with Jesus. If y'all crash and burn, he could just heal you. Everything's all good as new. So You're driving down the road, having a blast. This is amazing. You're like, man, my buddy Sam would not believe this. Jesus, can we go pick him up? I want him to see this too. Sure, go ahead. So you go pick up Sam, and then you think about, Debbie, and you think about Eric, and so you're going picking up friends, and eventually they're like, man, there's no room. Jesus, could you step out for just a second and let them go? I just want them to experience this too. This is amazing. And so you're hanging out with your friends, having a good time. You take them home, and you realize, oh my goodness, I forgot about Jesus. So you go back, and there he is, patiently waiting right where you left him off. And you're like, oh man, would you do that? Would you do that to Jesus? That sounds ridiculous. Like, would never physically treat Jesus that way. But have I ever spiritually, emotionally? Well, maybe you think that's just extreme. How about this? Imagine Jesus says, hey, I've got a couple tickets to Six Flags. Let's go have a good time. You're like, yeah, all right, sounds great. Let's go. So you are having a good time. Then all of a sudden you see a group of your friends off to the side, and you're like, hey, Jesus, can I just go hang out with them for a little bit? I'll catch up with you later. Would you do that to Jesus? Would you do it to him? If you say no, think about this. If it were your parents that took you on this trip to Six Flags, and you saw your friends off in the group, and you say, hey, Mom, Dad, can I just go hang out with them for a little bit? I'll catch up with y'all later. Yeah, you would almost certainly do that. Of course you would. Why wouldn't you? Well, but here's the thing. Your mom and dad were the one that brought you on this adventure, this trip. Was it your friends that did that? Was it your friends that paid for you to get in? Is it your friends that are going to pay for your meal and your drinks while you're there? Were they the ones that came up with this idea in this adventure, this something to go and do and experience with? Were your friends the one that wanted to experience this event with you? No, your parents prepared all this. Your parents were the ones who set this up. They were the ones who wanted to be with you and experience this fun, incredible day with. Well, how much more has Jesus prepared for us in this adventure of life? And how much more is he wanting to experience and go and be with us through this whole journey together? I know for a fact that my life is full of incredible memories of how I know Jesus was not only present, but working in my life and doing things that I would not have been able to do or experience or accomplish had it not been for him. Even 20 years ago when he took me when I didn't know anything about anything, and I got to go live in a foreign nation in England and work with the church for a year and a half or so. And what an incredible experience that was. I was not able to make that happen. Jesus did it all. I mean, it was amazing, remarkable how it all came about. Me meeting my wife and how that came about, Eliana and Colt and how my children came about. What an incredible story that was. That was something I was not able to do on my own. God made that happen, and I'm so grateful. And then through the ministry, all the times and talks with teenagers that I've had with people who have experienced much, much harder things in their life than I ever did. And on the other side of that, they decided to follow Jesus forever. And those are things that happen because he is with me and working. And I'm so grateful for his presence and the adventure that he's taken me on. Here's a really cool verse. In Proverbs chapter 18, verse 24, it says, a man with many friends, may be harmed, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. A friend, who could that be? A friend is closer than a brother. Well, Jesus, in his own words, said this in John 15:15. I no longer call you servants, because a servant does not know his master's business. Instead, I have called you friends, for everything I have learned from my Father, I have made known to you. So this is not a mystery. We know that we are with him, we are on this journey together, and that he wants us to be every bit a part of it as he is. That's an incredible friend. That's an incredible journey. What an adventure we have with our Savior Jesus. Know that he's with you, know that he's near to you, and that he's got people all around you that he wants to share life with you. So follow him forever. Read and study his will and way, and love each other. All right, love you. Have a great day. Love y'all.